Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. It was supposed to be just another quiet evening in the city. The central square was bustling with the usual crowd of tourists and locals enjoying the cool breeze of early autumn. I had decided to take a leisurely walk to clear my head, escaping the solitude of our apartment while my wife, Jenna, was supposedly on a business trip. As I approached the grand fountain at the center of the square, a peculiar scene caught my eye. 3 police officers were speaking with a woman who looked distressingly familiar. My pace quickened as I drew closer, the sinking feeling in my gut intensifying with each step. There, standing barefoot on the cobblestones and clutching a single plaid throw over her body, was Jenna. My heart pounded in my chest as I approached the scene. "Jenna." My voice broke through the murmur of the crowd. She turned, her face flushing with embarrassment and panic. The officers glanced at me, assessing the situation. "Sir, do you know this woman?" one of the officers asked, a hint of concern in his tone. "Yes, she's my wife," I managed to say, still in shock. Jenna's eyes pleaded with me, her lips trembling as she tried to form words. It's not what it looks like, Marcus," she stammered, but the sincerity was missing, replaced by desperation. One of the officers, a sympathetic woman with a stern face, stepped forward. "We found her like this a few blocks away. There was a disturbance reported at a nearby residence. Seems she was involved." The pieces began to fall into place, each one a hammer blow to my trust. "Involved? How?" I demanded, turning to Jenna for answers. Jenna's eyes darted around, seeking an escape that wasn't there. I made a mistake, Marcus. I went to meet someone, and his wife came home. It just happened so fast." The betrayal stung, a bitter and cold realization that the woman I loved had deceived me so completely. Rage simmered beneath my calm exterior, thoughts of revenge whispering dark promises of justice. "Take her home, sir. And maybe talk this out," the female officer suggested, handing Jenna back to me like a lost belonging. The walk home was silent except for Jenna's occasional sobs and pleas for forgiveness. I listened in silence, each excuse fueling the fire of my resolve. By the time we reached our apartment, the plan was clear in my mind. This was just the beginning. Jenna had shattered our vows, but I would ensure it was her life that crumbled around her. As the door closed behind us, sealing off the world, I knew one thing for certain: this was the end for us, and I was just getting started. As the night stretched on, the layers of deceit unraveled, each revelation a stepping stone to the retribution that awaited. The silence in the apartment is suffocating as I close the door behind us. Jenna stands in the living room, wrapped in that plaid blanket, her eyes wide and glistening with unshed tears. I cross my arms, the tension palpable in the air. "You have a lot of explaining to do," I say, my voice low but steady. "Marcus, please, just listen to me," she pleads, her voice quivering. "I never meant for you to find out like this." "Then how did you think I'd find out?" "Through a text. An email?" My anger simmers just below the surface, each word like a slap to her face. "You said you were going on a business trip." "Business? Is that what you call it?" "It was a misunderstanding. I got caught up in a situation," she says, moving toward me, the blanket slipping slightly from her shoulders. "You have to believe me." "Believe you?" I scoff, shaking my head. "What was happening out there? Did you think I'd just sit here while you were out there with another man? Did you think I wouldn't notice? I didn't want this to happen." Jenna bursts out, her frustration mingling with despair. "It just happened. I was confused, and..." "Confused?" I interrupt, raising my voice. "You're telling me you ended up with a lover, and it's just confusion?" "No, Jenna. This isn't confusion, it's betrayal. Cold, hard betrayal. The weight of my words hangs heavy in the air. I can see her struggle, the denial fading from her eyes as the reality of what she's done sinks in. What do you want me to say? I made a mistake. I'm sorry, she cries, tears streaming down her cheeks. Sorry isn't going to cut it. You think an apology can fix this? What do you think I should do now? I pace the room, running a hand through my hair, feeling my heart race with anger and hurt. I should just forget everything, right? Forget that my wife was caught half-naked running from her lover's wife. I'll do anything to make it right. Jenna pleads, desperation creeping into her voice. Please, Marcus, just tell me what you need from me. Anything? I ask, a wicked smile creeping onto my face as an idea begins to form. How about this? I want you to see the consequences of your actions. You need to understand what you've done, really understand it. What do you mean? She asks, her brows furrowing in confusion. I'm going to make sure you feel the weight of your betrayal. You think running around with someone else is free of repercussions? No, it isn't. I'm going to ruin your life, Jenna. Just like you've ruined mine. Marcus, please don't do this, she whispers, her voice barely above a breath. You don't mean that. We can work through this. Work through this. I snort. You've made your choice. You chose him over me. Don't think I'll be your safety net anymore. I move closer, looking directly into her eyes. I'm done being the fool, and you'll see just how serious I am. She flinches at my words, the truth hitting her hard. What do you want me to do? She asks, her voice trembling now. First, I want you to tell me everything. I want to know his name. I want to know how long this has been going on. I step back, crossing my arms again, a challenge in my eyes. I can't. I can't just give you that, she stammers, fear flashing across her face. Then I'll find out myself, I say, my voice cold and resolute. And believe me, when I do, it won't be pretty for either of us. Marcus, please, she begins, but I cut her off. Enough. I'm done listening to your excuses. I turn away from her, my heart racing with the thrill of the impending revenge. Where are you going? She asks, her voice breaking as I walk toward the door. I'm going to find out everything I can. And when I do, it'll be your turn to feel the pain you've caused. I leave the apartment, the door slamming behind me, leaving Jenna alone to contemplate the consequences of her betrayal. As I step into the cool night air, my mind races with possibilities. I have to dig deeper, uncover the details of her affair. I know there's a way to bring Jenna to her knees, to make her truly regret her choices. This is just the beginning, and I'm ready to execute my plan. I can't shake the image of her embarrassment earlier, caught in a plaid blanket, and it ignites a fire within me. I pull out my phone and start searching for the clues that will lead me to her lover. It's time for Jenna to see just how serious I am. The game of betrayal has begun, and I won't rest until she knows the full extent of her actions. I step out into the night, my heart pounding with a mix of rage and adrenaline. The cool breeze brushes against my skin, but I barely notice it. All I can think about is finding the man who has taken my wife from me. Jenna may have thought she could play both sides, but I refuse to let this go unpunished. I pull out my phone and start scrolling through the contacts. My mind races as I think of her coworkers, her friends, anyone who might have information about her affair. I need a lead, a name, something to sink my teeth into. My first thought is to call Tom, one of Jenna's close friends. I know she confides in him, and maybe he knows more than he's let on. I dial his number, the phone ringing in my ear like a ticking clock. Hey, Marcus. What's up? Tom answers, his voice casual, unaware of the storm brewing on the other end. Tom, I need to ask you something. It's urgent, I say, trying to keep my tone steady. Sure, man. What's going on? He replies, a hint of concern creeping into his voice. I need to know if Jenna has been seeing someone. I saw her tonight, and I need the truth. There's a pause on the other end, and I can practically hear the gears turning in Tom's head. What do you mean? Like, seeing someone romantically? Yes, Tom. Just tell me what you know, I snap, my patience thinning. Okay. Look, I heard some rumors, but I didn't think they were true, he admits hesitantly. She was getting close to someone from work, name's Alex, I think. Alex? I repeat, jotting the name down on my phone. What do you know about him? He's a decent guy, but I don't know, man. I thought it was just friendly, Tom stammers, clearly uneasy. Jenna didn't mention anything to me. Right. Thanks, Tom. I hang up, feeling a mixture of relief and anger. At least I have a name now. But I need to know more, much more. The night is still young, and I have a plan. I decide to head over to the bar where Jenna and her coworkers often hang out after work. If Alex is indeed the one she's been seeing, I'm sure he'll be there. I drive through the city streets, my mind racing with possibilities. I can envision the scene in my mind, Jenna laughing and flirting with this Alex, oblivious to the devastation she's caused at home. The anger boils over as I pull into the bar's parking lot, the neon lights casting an eerie glow on the pavement. I step inside, scanning the crowd. It's packed, filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses, but all I can focus on is finding Jenna's betrayer. I make my way to the bar, order a drink, and watch the entrance for any sign of her. Minutes tick by, and just as I start to feel defeated, I spot them across the room. Jenna is sitting at a table with a few colleagues, Alex among them. He's tall, with a confident smile and an easy laugh that seems to put Jenna at ease. My stomach churns as I see the way she leans in closer to him, her hand brushing against his arm. I take a deep breath, my blood boiling at the sight. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I push through the crowd, my heart racing as I approach their table. Jenna's laughter rings in my ears, a sound that used to bring me joy but now feels like a dagger. Mind if I join you? I say, my voice dripping with feigned casualness as I lean against the edge of the table. Jenna's eyes widen in shock. Marcus. What are you doing here? She stammers, her face paling. I was just out for a walk and thought I'd stop by, I reply, my gaze fixed on Alex, who's now looking between us with a mix of confusion and interest. Hey, man. We were just, Alex starts, but I cut him off. Just what? Having a good time while my wife is running around behind my back. I snap, my anger boiling over. Marcus, this isn't what it looks like. Jenna pleads, her voice rising in panic. Oh, really? Because from where I'm standing, it looks pretty damning. I lean closer, my voice low but firm. What's your story, Alex? Hey, I didn't know she was with you, he replies, trying to backtrack. We were just. Just what? I interrupt, my gaze piercing. Just having fun while my wife pretended to be on a business trip. Jenna reaches for my arm, her eyes pleading. Marcus, please, let's talk about this. But I'm done talking. I shake her off and stand tall. No more excuses. You've made your choices, and now you'll face the consequences. You think you can have a double life without it coming back to bite you. The tension at the table is palpable, the laughter around us dying down as people start to notice our confrontation. You need to leave, Jenna says, her voice trembling. Leave? No, Jenna. You're going to face this, I say, my voice steady. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows what you've been up to. I turn to Alex, my jaw clenched. You think it's just going to be easy for you too? I won't let this slide. You're going to regret it. Hey, I didn't know, alright? This isn't my fault, Alex protests, raising his hands in defense. I take a step back, my heart racing with adrenaline. You're right, it's not all your fault. But you played your part in this, and I won't forget it. With that, I turn and storm out of the bar, my heart racing and mind racing with thoughts of retribution. The stakes are high, and I know that this is just the beginning. Jenna may think she can get away with her betrayal, but I will make sure she pays for it. The game of revenge has only just begun, and I won't stop until she feels the weight of her actions. The night air is thick with tension as I drive home, my mind a whirlwind of emotions. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. Jenna's laughter with Alex haunts me, turning my stomach. The betrayal cuts deep, but I know now that I can't let this slide. I have to make them both pay. I pull into the driveway, the lights of our home dimming in the night. My heart races as I think of the steps I need to take next. Revenge isn't just a thought, it's a plan. I head inside, the quiet darkness amplifying the turmoil inside me. I know Jenna will be waiting, probably pacing in anxiety after our confrontation. She thinks she can still talk her way out of this, but I have no intention of letting that happen. As I enter the living room, Jenna is standing there, her face pale and eyes red from crying. Marcus, please, we need to talk, she starts, her voice shaky. Talk. I reply coldly, my arms crossed. What more is there to say? You made your choice. No, I want to explain. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, she pleads, stepping closer, desperation written all over her face. It wasn't supposed to happen, huh? Well, guess what? You should have thought about that before you got involved with Alex. I shoot back, my anger boiling over. Please, just listen, she begs, her voice cracking. I was confused, and it was a mistake. A mistake. You think sleeping with another man is a mistake. You think it's that easy to brush off. I take a step closer, closing the distance between us. You hurt me, Jenna. You shattered our life together. Marcus, I'm sorry. I'll do anything to fix this, she cries, tears streaming down her face. Anything? I echo, a cruel smile spreading across my face. You're going to show me just how far you'll go to make things right. What do you mean? She asks, confusion mingling with fear in her eyes. I want you to call Alex. Tell him you need to see him tonight. No excuses. And when he gets here, we're going to have a little chat, I say, my voice dripping with malice. Her eyes widen in horror. You can't be serious. Marcus, please. Do it. I command, my voice echoing off the walls. She hesitates but knows she has no choice. Slowly, she pulls out her phone, trembling as she dials Alex's number. As she talks to him, I feel a rush of satisfaction. This is it. This is where it all comes to a head. Jenna finishes the call, her face a mix of fear and dread. He'll be here in 30 minutes, she whispers, her voice barely audible. Good. Now, let's prepare a little surprise for him, I say, the plan forming in my mind. I move into the kitchen and grab a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. I pour them both a generous amount, letting the rich liquid swirl as I think of the moment to come. I'm going to confront them both, and I want it to be unforgettable. Time ticks by slowly as I set the scene. Jenna stands frozen, unsure of what to do next. Marcus, please, you don't have to do this, she pleads. Oh, but I do, I reply, my tone dark. You both deserve this. I'll make sure you understand the consequences of your betrayal. The doorbell rings, and my heart races. Jenna looks at me, panic in her eyes. "Please, Marcus," she whispers. "Stay here," I order, walking to the door and swinging it open with a flourish. Alex stands there, his confident demeanor faltering when he sees my expression. "Hey, Marcus. Is everything okay?" he asks, trying to sound nonchalant but failing miserably. "Not even close," I reply, stepping aside to let him in. "Come on in. We have some things to discuss." As he enters, I watch his eyes dart around, taking in the atmosphere. "Where's Jenna?" he asks, looking confused. "Right here," I say, turning to her. "Why don't you pour us some wine?" Jenna hesitates, glancing at me as if seeking permission. I can't," she stammers. "Pour the damn wine, Jenna," I growl, my patience wearing thin. She nods slowly, filling 3 glasses and handing one to Alex. "Cheers to new beginnings," I say, raising my glass with a mock smile. Alex raises his glass, still oblivious to the tension in the room. "Cheers," he replies, but there's a hint of nervousness in his voice. I down the wine in one gulp, feeling the liquid warm my throat. "Let's get straight to the point, shall we?" I say, setting my glass down with a thud. "You thought you could just sneak around behind my back without any consequences." "Marcus, I didn't know you were going to be here," Alex stutters, his bravado fading. "But you knew about me, didn't you?" I retort, my voice dripping with venom. "You knew I was married to Jenna, and yet you still decided to go after her." "It wasn't like that," Alex tries to defend himself, but I cut him off. "Not like that. You think that matters now? You've already crossed the line." I lean in closer, my eyes narrowing. "And now, you're both going to pay." Jenna's face pales, and I can see the realization dawning on her. "Marcus, please, don't do this," she begs, tears welling up in her eyes. I ignore her, focusing on Alex. "You want to know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure everyone knows about your little affair. You're going to lose your job, your reputation, everything you've built." "Wait, Marcus, you can't do that." Alex protests, his face turning white. "Oh, but I can. And I will," I say, my tone chilling. "You both thought you could have your cake and eat it too, but I'm going to make you regret every moment of this betrayal." Jenna's cries of despair fill the room, but I'm deaf to them. I've reached my breaking point, and there's no going back. "This is what you get for hurting me," I say, my voice cold and unyielding. As Alex's face turns ashen, I can't help but feel a twisted sense of satisfaction. I've taken control, and I won't let either of them escape unscathed. "Get out, Marcus. Just get out of our lives." Jenna screams, her voice breaking. "Consider this my final gift to you both," I sneer. "A taste of the consequences of your actions. Enjoy the fallout." With that, I turn and walk out of the room, leaving them both in shock. The betrayal runs deep, and the seeds of retribution have been sown. I won't look back, I can't. As I step outside into the cool night air, I feel a mix of relief and anger wash over me. I've taken a stand, and now it's their turn to face the truth. I don't need to be a part of their lives anymore. I've severed the ties, and with each step I take away from that house, I feel lighter. The deception has been revealed, and now I can finally move on, leaving behind the ashes of a love that once was. I'm free, and as the stars twinkle overhead, I know that this is just the beginning of my new life, one where I won't be a fool again.